As I'm sure you're very aware by now, one of the big differences between this course and other YouTube courses is that this course isn't just about YouTube growth. It's about building a business with YouTube, or if you already have a business, using YouTube to bring you an automated stream of high-ticket clients and sales. It's also about positioning you as an expert, which can open even more exciting opportunities. But let's start by talking about the 5 different levels people are at when it comes to YouTube, so we can see the difference between what we're going to do and what most people do. Now, level 1 is the consumers. The vast majority of people who use YouTube are purely there to watch videos. They consume content, but they don't create anything themselves. Of course, now that you've invested in this course, you have left this category, which is great news because just consuming content doesn't help you impact people or make money or any of the things we want to do. Creating content does. And this doesn't mean you shouldn't still watch videos, but it means you should be spending more of your time creating content than consuming it. So, acknowledge that you are now a creator and head of the majority of people who'd love to do YouTube but just keep putting it off and telling themselves they can't. But then we've got this next level, level 2, which is the casuals. This is the people who use YouTube and do upload some content to it, but very occasionally or sporadically. They may post a random video and then not post anything for a couple of months. These people have no serious interest in optimization or growing an audience. They're essentially just using YouTube to store their videos or having a bit of fun with it without any sort of goals or plans. And of course, that's totally fine. It's just not what we're trying to do. But then we've got level 3, the aspiring YouTubers. And this next category of people who use YouTube are the ones who understand some of the potential of the platform, but that's because they follow a lot of YouTube channels themselves and they want that lifestyle and income for creating videos. So they are regularly posting videos and trying to optimize their channel. They are trying to follow the best practices. They are essentially in the YouTube grind of trying to grow a channel and become a YouTuber. However, whilst becoming a YouTuber is apparently one of the most desired jobs in the world now, it's also notoriously competitive, which is why the majority of this category sadly give up after a while, because they don't have a system to help them, which means things can get pretty overwhelming. Then we move to level 4, which is the YouTubers. This category of people who use YouTube are the ones who do manage to break through from that previous level, and they do build a large following. And this means they can make a pretty good income from YouTube, since YouTube's partner program pays creators for the amount of views they get. And YouTubers sometimes take on sponsorship deals as well. You probably see those adverts for NordVPN, Squarespace, all those popular sponsors. And so that does increase the money they can get from it as well. And they can get to a point where they make a full-time income from creating YouTube videos. And don't get me wrong, being a YouTuber may be great, but most people think this is the main goal with YouTube, that this is the peak to aim for. And I disagree. I think there's this final 5th level, the YouTube magnates. This category is the entrepreneurs and internet marketers who are using YouTube to drive sales to their business and get clients and customers. This category is what I myself am doing, because in this category, you can make great money from YouTube even with a relatively small audience. So much so that you can build an entire business using YouTube once you understand this. And this category is significantly smaller than all the other 4 levels we just talked about, largely because most people don't even realize the opportunity. And even though I think we can all agree, level 5 is where we want to be, I don't mean this to sound elitist. I'm not saying people at level 5 are better. I'm saying the opportunity is so much better. And although it's not for everyone, for those ambitious people like yourself who are open to running their own online business, level 5 is an incredible place to be. Now, there is quite a lot of overlap between level 4 and 5. Whether you're a YouTuber who's making money from ads, or you're a YouTube magnate who's approaching things more entrepreneurially and trying to get sales to a business, either way, you're doing something right with your channel. Both of them use a lot of the same growth techniques for their channel, but a key difference is simply that the YouTube magnates are using their YouTube traffic to drive sales to something else. So they make a lot more money because they're not just relying on ads and sponsors like YouTubers do. They've got all these other revenue streams that they own that are much more profitable. Another key difference with YouTube magnates compared to just normal YouTubers is that they're almost always helping others and having an impact. They're not just posting funny meme videos, they're educating or inspiring people. To fully illustrate this concept, I'll give you an example. Dan Lok. I know some people have mixed opinions on him, but we're solely looking at his YouTube strategy here. Is he level 1? No, he's posting videos. Is he level 2? No, he's posting regularly. Is he level 3? No, clearly his channel is having some success and being very successful. Is he level 4? No, because although he may be making a lot of money from ads, this is not his primary use for YouTube. Is he level 5 then? Yes, of course, because he is a YouTube magnate. He is using YouTube to grow his business. He's putting out free content to build his brand and credibility, but then is also using calls to action to go and check out his paid courses and products and consulting and so on. YouTube is like the start of his sales funnel. And all of these millions and millions of views he's getting, he's bringing him countless new leads for his business, countless new clients that he can sell to. And because his free content has led people to know, like, and trust him already, he can charge high ticket prices, which is a better business model because it's a lot easier to sell, find 10 people to pay $1,000 each than find 2,000 people paying $5 each. It's also much easier to manage high ticket. So both of those examples I just gave, 10 people paying $1,000, 2,000 people paying $5 each, they both lead to the same amount of money, but the high ticket option is just so much better. And this YouTube system allows you to sell things for high ticket prices. So how does all of this relate to you? Why are we talking about Dan Lok? Because you are also going to become a YouTube magnate by coaching or teaching people on a topic you are knowledgeable on and charging high ticket prices for your premium offerings. So this course is designed to essentially take you through that entire process from start to finish. In this particular training, I just want to lay out the basics right now so you can see how all of this is going to piece together throughout this course. And hopefully you can always keep in mind that level 5 end goal, that we're not just trying to be YouTubers making money from ads. We're thinking even bigger. We're turning this into a business where the YouTube channel is bringing us all these clients and sales. So let's talk through the actual steps of how that's going to work again, just to lay out the pieces so we know how it's all going to come together. Firstly, step 1, you're going to pick your niche in the next training, which is going to be a topic or area that you're more skilled or knowledgeable about than the majority of people. And it could be literally anything: productivity, writing, speaking, dancing, coding, dating, Instagram, and so on. Literally anything. Now, if you're already a coach or running a business right now, you already have your niche that you help people with. But if not, in the next training, we'll guide you through that because everyone has something they're better at than the majority of people and that other people would like to learn. But once you've got that, once you know what you're going to teach people and help people with, we can move on to step 2. You're then going to start making free YouTube videos on the topic you pick. Let's go with that first example of productivity. Let's say you've spent a lot of time learning how to really optimize your day, cut out procrastination, all that stuff. Well, that's definitely a skill other people would love to learn. So you can start making videos on anything within that area. Things like different productivity mindsets, useful apps, equipment you use, all these sorts of things that are related to that core niche of yours. They can all have individual videos on different subtopics within that, because they're still all within productivity. Then we can get to step 3. Using the very comprehensive strategies from within this course, you're going to create the videos in a certain type of way that's going to simultaneously do 2 things. Number 1, the videos you are going to make are going to position you as a credible expert on your topic. So productivity in this case. And people are going to start associating you with that topic. They're going to see that you're great and very knowledgeable about that topic. But number 2, we're also going to make the videos in a way that they're very entertaining. So people enjoy watching your YouTube videos and become attached to your channel and your brand. And the videos start getting more popular. Because then, once we get to step 4, your channel is going to act as the start of a marketing funnel, which essentially just means it's going to generate you potential customers. in the descriptions of your videos, you're going to have links to products and services that you sell related to your topic. So in our productivity example, that might be one-to-one mentorship or group coaching or a productivity course you create and so on. There's loads of options. We'll get to that later though. But you're essentially saying, I post some stuff for free, but my full systems and strategies and more in-depth personalized help, you pay for those. But this works incredibly well because at this point, people have already received value from you in your free videos. So they're essentially a warm lead. Contrast that approach with what most businesses and coaches do, like running cold ads, promoting their products, or messaging people out of the blue asking if they want to buy. Who would you rather buy from though? The person whose productivity videos that you follow who've really helped you and says, oh, actually, I've got this really advanced program that can massively transform your productivity? Or would you rather buy from the person who just runs a random ad to you or reaches out of the blue who you've never heard of, you've never received any help from? It's a no-brainer you go with the person who's been putting out that free content. However, our final and fifth step of this process is that the free videos you create on your channel aren't going to be solely promoting your products and services. They are going to offer real value. And this is a big mistake sometimes people make when they're trying to use YouTube to get clients and sales. The video ends up feeling like an advert, and it shouldn't. You can simply indirectly refer to your premium offerings and include 2 or 3 calls to action to check out the links in the description if they want more. So people are going to be aware of your premium offerings, but we're not going to be trying to ram them down their throats. It's going to be more subtle. And although this may sound counterintuitive, trust me, in the long term, this works so much better and will allow you to build an audience who really connect with you and your content, which is going to lead to much better results. So you're creating free content that brings people into your channel and brand. But then when they want your premium offerings, they pay. And they'll be much more inclined to do so by that point, thanks to the free videos. And remember, I just want to stress this point again. We're not looking to sell cheap ebooks here. We're looking to sell high-ticket, premium products and services that have a large impact on people, that really transform their life in some way. Now, that's just a basic overview of what we're going to be trying to do, but the principles are that simple. Now let me explain, though, why this model is incredible and why it's going to work so well for you. Reason number 1 is that it gets clients chasing you. Online education is hugely popular, and it's no secret that if you can have an impact on someone's life and help them learn something and achieve some kind of transformation, there can be a lot of money in that. But you might be thinking why this whole system revolves around YouTube. Because after all, when it comes to getting leads for your business, there's obviously no shortage of ways you can get them. As we said before, you can message people and slide into their DMs. You can get them on a call. Maybe you pay for ads or shout outs. There's other social media. There are 2 fundamental problems here, though. The first is that they're very time-draining activities because, let's face it, to close a high-ticket deal, it's rare you can just drop someone a couple of messages and bam, they want to hand over $1,000 to work with you or buy your course or coaching. No, you have to sell them on it. And with ads, yes, you can reach more people quickly, but aside from the fact you're paying for that privilege, people are much more wary of ads these days. People know they're being sold to and they don't particularly like it. They're getting bombarded with ads all the time. You yourself, if you saw an ad on Facebook for a high-ticket program, you're going in pretty skeptically, right? You don't know or like or trust this person yet, so you're very wary of it. And this brings us to our second fundamental problem. To get new clients, you're chasing them. Those 3 words are the key to it all. You're chasing them. They have all the power. And let's be honest, sometimes people can almost sense the desperation when you're working hard to try and sell someone on your product or service. So what I'm saying is, what if there were a system where they could come to you already wanting to buy your premium products and services because they've seen those free videos of yours? And what if this system could work on autopilot 24/7, so there's no limit on how many people and leads you can get, because it's not taking any of your time to go out and find them one by one. So there's no limit on how much you can sell. That right there is the power of the YouTube Magnate system, and yet 99.99% of people simply do not understand it or utilize it. But if you can be in that tiny fraction of people who use this in your business, it can massively explode your growth and start bringing clients to you who already know, like, and trust you and already want to buy from you. That's why YouTube in particular is such an effective way of getting clients, and that's why this system is going to be better than all those other methods that we just mentioned. But number 2, the second reason that this is going to work so well for you is that every YouTube video is an evergreen digital asset. The basic premise of posting free content on social media to attract paid customers is nothing new. But on all of the other social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on, the post is normally dead within around 24 hours. No matter how great your post is, there's no way that a year down the line it's going to be bringing you countless new leads every single day. But with YouTube, if you optimize the videos like I'll show you and use the right techniques that I've spent years learning, every single video you make becomes an evergreen asset. That means YouTube can promote that video on your behalf for free for years to come. Yes, years. And better yet, they'll promote that video to new ideal clients who specifically want that type of content. So for example, people specifically looking to get better at the skill you're teaching, YouTube's going to be pushing your videos to them. And that just doesn't happen in the same way on other platforms. For example, I have a video I posted well over a year ago that got 546 views in the last 48 hours. Now that's nothing crazy, but that's just one video. Just imagine, out of those 546 people, if only a very conservative 5% decide to click on the link that I tell them to click in the video. That's like 27 people who have voluntarily searched for help on the subject I teach, and then voluntarily click the link to sign up for a call to see how I can help them personally in more depth. Now, it took me less than an hour to make that video over a year ago. So just imagine what happens when you have 20 videos, 100 videos, 1,000 videos. It's like every one of those videos is part of an army working around the clock to bring your ideal customers to you. Because even with our super conservative estimate of 27 people clicking the call to action every 48 hours, because again, this is just within the last 48 hours, those aren't 27 skeptical people that you've messaged out the blue. Those are 27 people who came to your video. You've already provided them with some value. And so now they've already got to know you a little bit. They already trust you a little bit. They're already pre-qualified when they click that link as saying they want to learn more from you. So 27 pre-qualified leads every 48 hours from one video from over a year ago, working on a modest 5% being interested in the call to action. Hopefully you can see how that can be really powerful, especially once you have a whole library of videos. Now, of course, I'm not saying every video is going to do that well, or some videos might even do better, but it's the principle that I so strongly believe in. And that's why I've dedicated literally years of my life to understanding YouTube marketing. So I could create a system where people, even with a small audience, can get some crazy results, a crazy amount of leads and clients who want to work with you, who see your free videos, are drawn to them, and then want to work with you one-to-one or buy your systems and so on. And so you really can make incredible passive income systems using this, running on autopilot, once you've created that content that one time. The third reason that this is going to work so well for you, though, is that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. But it's also owned and integrated with the largest search engine in the world, Google. That means once you understand how to rank in search results, which is again covered in this course, you are literally going to be appearing right when your ideal customers are looking for a solution. So let's stick with that productivity example from earlier and say that you're teaching people productivity. That's your niche, but of course it works with any niche. So let's imagine we've got a guy who really needs help with his productivity. He's struggling to stay motivated, and you're a productivity coach who can help him. Which is going to be better? Ranking as one of the top results when he searches on YouTube or Google for help becoming more productive, and then you being there, offering some free tips in your video and saying, by the way, I've got this step-by-step program where in 30 days you can totally transform your productivity and achieve so much more. Or Is it going to be better with the alternative that most coaches do, where they make a post on Instagram about productivity and hope he finds it? Or maybe message people out of the blue and just hope that some of them need productivity help? No, surely it makes more sense to be the person who shows up when someone is actively looking for help with that problem. Because then they perceive you as the expert when you're one of the results that comes up when they're looking for help on that topic. When they think of productivity help, they'll then think of you. So even if they don't necessarily buy straight away from that first video they find you in from the search results, they'll maybe subscribe to your channel, watch a few more of your videos, and over time they'll realize that, well, this guy actually really does know his stuff. I'm going to buy from him. I'm going to want to work with him. Reason number 4, though, that this is such a powerful system is that you don't need a huge audience for this to work. The first thing we need to acknowledge is that unlike level 4, the YouTubers, you don't need millions of subscribers to be a YouTube magnate and be a successful coach. I got my first high-ticket client from YouTube with less than 1,000 subscribers. Seriously. And you might think, well, why? Why would someone invest a lot of money with someone who has less than 1,000 subscribers? Well, because I made a video that genuinely really helped him. So I proved my value to him and my credibility that I knew what I was talking about. And so he wanted to work with me directly. Because on YouTube, you can convey your personality. And so if someone connects with you and you can clearly solve a problem for them, do you think they really care that you're still a relatively new person on the platform and haven't got millions of subscribers? No, they care about one thing. Can you get them the results they want? So this idea of needing crazy high numbers of views and subscribers is ridiculous. When you're using YouTube to get clients, you don't need that, because all we need is the right people. And this is heavily linked to the 1,000 true fans theory, which maybe you've heard of before. But if not, it's basically the idea that you can make incredibly good money with a relatively small and engaged following who really love what you do. Quality over quantity, essentially. Because there are cat videos that have millions of views, but they're not bringing in any high-ticket clients. I'd much rather a strategically made video with low views that brings me 5 clients paying $2,000 each than a video that goes viral but does nothing to help my business. Hope this makes sense, as this mindset literally changes everything. It shows us that our main aim with YouTube is going to be attracting the right high-ticket clients, not worrying about the vanity metrics like views and subscribers. Yes, those are nice and they can help build a little bit of social proof, but the goal here should be to help you get more clients and make more money and have more impact, not just getting more views just because it looks nice. So I could go on all day here about the advantages of using this system and using YouTube in particular. For example, like how they have in-depth analytics so you can understand your audience better and market to them better. But I think you're already starting to get the idea of how powerful this can be. However, I know some of you may have some concerns about some of these elements, so let's just address those right away. One of the biggest ones of all is that YouTube is too competitive now. And this is a common misconception that YouTube has become too saturated. But this simply isn't the case. Whilst more people than ever are making content, more people are watching content than ever before too. The popularity of video content continues to dominate, and that trend is almost certainly going to continue for quite a long time. And since YouTube is the #1 video site in the world, it's absolutely not too late to get started. And I'll admit, if you got started several years ago, yes, there would have been a bit less competition. But even then, some people were saying, oh, it's too competitive, it's too saturated. They used that as an excuse to not start now. But there is still a window of opportunity open with YouTube. And this is so clear because there are brand new channels taking off and being successful that have been started very recently. That's still happening. Of course, it's great for us that many people still believe YouTube's too competitive because it means less people are taking advantage of the opportunity because they have this limiting belief about it that they can't do it anymore or they've missed the boat. So, you yourself may have actually been in a position where you've tried YouTube and felt, kind of similarly, but with this course, you will now have all the strategies and secrets to help you grow faster so that isn't an issue anymore. I've genuinely studied the YouTube algorithm very in depth, and I can assure you it doesn't discriminate against new channels. That's why there are so many examples of new channels popping up and doing really well still. So please ditch this notion that YouTube's too competitive, because it isn't the case. However, another concern that I know some people might have is that their niche is too competitive. So if they already have a niche in mind of the topic they want to teach people on and become a coach for, they might be thinking, yeah, but there's loads of other people who are teaching something similar. There's lots of other coaches doing the same thing. Well, firstly, in the next training, we're going to be talking about how to niche down, because it's actually very beneficial to be more specific about what you teach and who you teach it to. For example, just being a generic fitness coach makes it quite difficult to command high prices. But if you're a specialist who specifically deals with, let's say, helping young entrepreneurs lose weight whilst being on a busy schedule, well, then you are much more unique. And anyone who meets that specific description is going to want to work with you in particular, and they're going to be willing to pay more as a result because you're more specialized. So if your niche is still really competitive, the answer is probably that you need to niche down further and help people with a more specific problem or help a more specific group of people. However, even once you niche down, there's almost certainly going to be some other people on YouTube talking about the same topics that you're going to be helping people with. However, there's 3 things to bear in mind here. Number 1, those other people probably don't know all the YouTube tactics and strategies that you're going to get in this course, so you have the advantage. Number 2, there are over 7 billion people in the world. There is plenty of room for many people to be talking about the same topics on YouTube. There's room for multiple different teachers. But linked to that is this 3rd point, which is perhaps most crucial of all. Different people want different teachers. Sometimes we talk about in the course that it's going to be crucial for you to show your unique personality in your videos, because that's going to help like-minded people connect with you and be drawn to you. Different people connect with different people. With Dan Lok, who we mentioned earlier, he teaches high-ticket sales and other business-related topics, which loads of different people teach. Some people like Dan's style, so they buy from him. Some don't, though, and they want different options. Some people would connect more with a woman, or some people would connect more with someone from a different background that's more similar to theirs, and so on. You have to realize that just because there are other people in your niche, there's nobody like you. And I'm not trying to get all gushy on you here, but your perspective and your style and personality and your stories, they're all unique to you, which is why you can still carve out a space within your niche, because different people connect with different teachers and different coaches more than others. Another concern, though, that people might have is that online education is too competitive now. Well, to that I would just say that a recent study showed that online education, the market in general, will be worth around $350 billion by 2025. $350 billion. Anyone who tells you that there are too many coaches, courses, and online trainings is either selling them wrong, probably because they're not using something like YouTube that can bring them clients on autopilot, or they just haven't tried it and they're seeing a lot of them all over the place and concluding that there are too many. But that's just not the case. Online education is not only here to stay, it's going to continue to grow very rapidly. And rightly so. It's awesome that anyone can learn pretty much anything from anywhere in the world. Another concern, though, I'm not qualified to teach anything. Well, you don't need to be the #1 expert on something to be able to help others with it. Everyone has some things they're better at than the majority of other people, which means they can still help others. Sometimes we take for granted, though, how much more we know than most people on a certain topic or skill. Again, we'll cover this more in the next training, but I just want to assure you that literally anyone can follow this system. And if really necessary, you can learn a new skill to teach. You don't need any sort of teaching experience whatsoever. That's why you have this course to help you with that. You just need that one interest or hobby or skill or talent or area of expertise that you can help other people with. So let's just summarize all of this. You're going to pick a topic you're knowledgeable on and help other people get better at it themselves. You're going to create content on YouTube based around that topic. If you're a fitness coach, fitness videos. Productivity coach, productivity videos. But those videos are going to be strategically designed to help your ideal customers on one area that they need help with. However, during the video, you're going to mention that if they want to work with you directly and get your premium offerings, for example, a personalized plan, your extra advice within a special system you've created, all that kind of stuff, then they check out the link in the description and book a call with you or buy your product. Each video is then optimized to become an evergreen asset so that each one can bring you new qualified leads and then customers on autopilot long after it's been posted. Remember, this business model is proven to work. It's hugely scalable and manageable from your laptop anywhere in the world. It's also extremely low cost. And so, whether you already have a coaching business or whether you're literally starting from scratch right now, hopefully you can now see the incredible potential of this YouTube system and how all of these video assets you're going to create are going to continually bring you new pre-qualified leads and how that's so much better than the alternative options. And I just want to stress, I'm not saying all of this because I use this system myself and I'm biased. I use this system myself because it works so well. I wouldn't be using it myself otherwise. Of course, this concept is simple enough, but the execution of it is what's key. That's what matters, and that's where people go wrong, which is what this course is really about, how to actually execute on this idea. So feel free to get a little bit psyched right now because the rest of this course is going to be much more practical, the step-by-step things you need to start bringing in those high-ticket sales. I'll see you in the next trading. Cheers.